Difficulties. Okay.
Go.
Let's get started. Can you just go check we're on?
Yes, I can do that. That's on. And that is on.
Can you show me something?
Which one is on? Where?
Yeah.
I can't tell where you want it. There you go. Meow.
Let's go.
Okay. Oh.
Welcome to Pete and Hannah's review show, What's Next? The show where we help you figure out what to watch next. We're here for a special episode of What's Next. It's a Ridley Scott draft. And as always, I'm here with my lovely co-host, Hannah!
Hello.
Hen, today, as a special show, we need a special guest. And our special guest today is Denny McCarthy.
Hello, how are we?
Hello, Denny.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good, very good.
So, we're drafting today. So, we'll go through the rules for the draft soon. But why are we drafting Ridley Scott films, you might ask? Well, Napoleon has been released in cinemas. We've seen it. Denny hasn't had a chance to see it yet, so it won't be included in today's draft. But go see it in cinemas. It's definitely a cinema experience to remember. Denny, what was your first Ridley Scott experience?
I think the one that, when I finally switched on to him as a director would have been Gladiator.
Yeah.
Such a, one of my favourite movies, obviously, love Roman history, and then that came out great. Yeah, so now I think that's when I first clocked on to him as a director.
And then you really loved the Australian actor Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Hi.
Australian, great.
Yeah. Hannah?
It was more of a recent fascination with him in sense of Last Duel and House of Gucci. I love those two films, even though panned for some strange reason. And now I've watched everyone, and I know my favourites.
And so, Last Gucci is not one of your favourite films?
We'll find out.
My first Ridley Scott experience, I saw White Squall in the cinemas. So, growing up, a teenager, it was famous star in that movie was Scott Wolf. It was Party 5. It was the biggest TV show in the world at the time. And when I saw White Squall, I was like, oh, this guy's amazing. And then just seeing every film since, probably haven't seen Exorcist Gods and Kings, but watch that on streaming service. But yeah, just amazing visual stylist. So it's not Ridley Scott, it's Sir Ridley Scott. He was born in England. He had a couple of brothers. He went to school, a famous art school in England. And then he got his start in set design for TV and movies, and then moved into directing television commercials. He directed one of the most famous commercials of all time, the Apple TV 1984 Super Bowl ad, which was, at the time, it was like $1 million it cost, really expensive, and it was cinematic, so absolutely stunning. Then his first movie was The Duellists in 1977. So he's done 28 films, including Napoleon. So we're going to be drafting from the other 27 today. So you might ask, how are we going to do it today? So we'll draw a name of the hat, and then it'll go snake version. So 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 2, 1. We're also going to nominate 6 categories. So that'll try and cover a good chunk of Ridley's movies. So the categories are, now guys, if you want to change categories, this is the time now, once we start. So category 1 is romance, comedy, Oscar nominee. Hard to, we've got to tailor these for Ridley's 28 movies. So some of his movies haven't been Oscar nominated, which is a dead set shame, and we're going to go in that today. He's only been nominated himself 4 times, so some of his movies have been nominated, so we're going to cast any nominations at all. It's going to be included. So romance comedy Oscar nominees, one category. One category is he's a king of sci-fi, so we've got to talk about that. Then action is one category, thriller is one category, drama is another category, and then the last card is wild card, so we can pick as we see fit.
Yeah.
So let us pick a name out of the hat, and as a special guest, Danny, you get to pick the first name, and who'll go number one.
I don't know if I want to go first or third. I feel like third is.
Well, yeah, you get
Is
that.
it-
You get
yeah.
that twice. Yeah, being second probably is the
You
worst.
get a pick, dude.
Is this first?
Yeah.
Hannah.
Oh, wow. Can I just see that? Yeah, show it to the camera. Okay, Danny, who picked second?
Oh my god.
And
Pete.
Yes.
Yes.
And just so that we're not cheating, Danny. All right.
Empty hat, by the way.
Empty hat. Yep. Okay. So Hannah, before we begin the draft,
Yeah, of course.
let's tell the people what we're playing for today.
Glory.
Glory, yeah, I don't know, glory to be to heaven.
We're going to, so how we're going to work this is we'll do all our picks and then we'll post it in a couple of days' time what movies that we picked after everyone's had a chance to watch it. And then we'll do a story on Instagram with a poll. Whoever wins the draft gets to pick a watch-along movie that we'll do a podcast on. Now, before we begin the draft, Hannah, tell the people what they should do.
Pretty please leave a like on this lovely video, or
Like.
or leave a comment live in chat or something, and subscribe if you haven't already.
Hit the notification button and you'll get great content like this one, including we are dropping our first podcast this week on Ben-Hur, the AFI Top 100 10-year anniversary revisited. We go 100 to 1, should be great. Usual movie news, and our show this week for What's Next is heavily on Napoleon Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
So Hannah,
Did you want to speak about Ridley Scott as a director first, or did you want
Yeah,
to?
that's a 10.
okay, yeah, we can talk about Ridley as a director.
Yeah.
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 So we were talking about before, and we're like, have you got any hot takes? Is he slightly overrated? as a
Oh
director?
wow! Oh wow! You want to go there?
Yeah.
I was kind of
Like if you look at his
Oh.
as from a commercial standpoint, like he's probably only really had 4 or 5 like really successfully commercial movies.
Yeah.
And then the rest are kind of like middling in terms of like box office takes.
Yeah, this is a take.
I know what you're saying.
I know what you're saying. Like he definitely is.
He
mixes it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
weird movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
he wakes up one day and he's like, that's it. That's what I'm doing.
I think he's like a painter where he will throw a lot of paint at the canvas, and some of them will
Russell
look
Crowe's face.
shizen.
Yeah.
And others will look, oh, that's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And he gets into veins, and as we're talking through the movies today, he'll go through like just a run of just sci-fi, and then out of nowhere, he'll do Someone to Watch Over Me, or he'll do like Thelma and Louise, like one of the best romance comedy sort of action, empowering women, and then he follows it up with Christopher Columbus 1492.
Yeah.
He really mixes his form. I think he just makes movies to suit himself. As he's a curmudgeon, like that quote where he says, "I'm not really enjoying films at the moment, but I am really enjoying rewatching mine."
Yeah.
I think he just makes film for himself, which is fine.
I wouldn't, and also a lot of his films, I think, over time got appreciated. I don't think Blade Runner was like a really big sci-fi, but over time it's become one of the most well-known and beloved in the genre.
I think the real key to Ridley Scott is, if you're a Ridley Scott fan, you'll love his movies.
You'll let it cook.
And you like him cooking, but I think the public goes in and out on it. He hasn't got love like Spielberg or Scorsese or Tarantino, or my boy Nolan. But he's definitely Nolan loves Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Like I think Ridley is trying to make the movies that he loved as a kid, and he loves Stanley Kubrick, and you can tell in those in the movies that he's done. Like Napoleon is a movie that Stanley Kubrick wanted to make, and he couldn't get it off the ground.
Yeah.
So I think Ridley Scott is just trying to do what Stanley Kubrick would have done. Like, Duellists is just it's basically a rip-off of Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, and I'm there for it. I love Stanley Kubrick, so I'm a big Ridley Scott fan, and I think overrated is it's a bit harsh. You know,
you know what I was gonna say is like there's like the essence of overrated. You know,
Yeah.
he's probably not quite, but like, is he on the same level as someone like Nolan or Spielberg or like those kind of directors?
No, definitely not. But I think he makes movies. I think his filmography is going to stand the test of time. Like Alien and The Martian and Gladiator. I think they're going to be there forever, and people are going to look back on it. Like, I'm really surprised he hasn't won an Oscar. Like he does Oscar bait, and I think just like Fincher, I think he gets discounted because he's from that commercial TV background.
Who won the year that Gladiator didn't win? Like what?
Gladiator won Best Picture.
Oh, it did, but not Best Director.
Yeah, I think it was. You can look that up. But like Gladiator. Well, rewatching that, it's just we're going to talk about it today, but it's just absolutely stunning. And like it's visually like the script is just absolute trash.
Yeah, his scripts need work, but his movies look great, and the actors when they're cooking, they're just phenomenal.
He has a great relationship with actors, an absolute great relationship with actors, doesn't he?
There's a certain one.
Yeah.
There's Russell Crowe. I mean, you could have made your own category that's just Russell Crowe, and picking your favorite Russell Crowe performance in a Ridley Scott movie, because there are so many.
Yeah, he does have a love affair with an actor, then he discards them. Like
Harvey Keitel early on.
Yeah,
I was like, that was great.
Yeah, Harvey Keitel, and then Harvey Keitel with Thelma and Louise, like just throwing heat. Harvey Keitel, what a career he had. All right, Hen.
I've got one last question.
Yeah.
Is he the best director in his family?
Ooh.
Oh, I have that take as well. I don't think he is. I think Tony Scott's a better director, and I think he makes better movies, as in enjoyable for the fans.
Yeah.
Like you look at Tony Scott, like he made Beverly Hills Cop 2, he made Crimson Tide.
Steven Soderbergh won for Traffic.
Steven Soderbergh won for
He was
Traffic.
nominated again next year for Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
And who won that? Ron Howard for A Beautiful Mind.
Wow.
Ronnie.
The year that The Martian was nominated, I really think that what happened in the Martian year? That I just do not know how he missed out for The Martian. That was just amazing that he.
What year is that? 2008.
15. Yeah, so The Martian's like stunning. It's all put together. It's brilliant. Okay, Hen, you go first pick.
Alright, so let's start with romance, comedy, and the Oscar award, because that one's a big category. Very few movies that fit the quota, and I'm gonna go with, of course, House of Gucci.
So let people in what death threats that you made. I
would have taken every terrible movie that is in his filmography just to have House of Gucci. I've watched every one of these movies now and can safely say I only care about, I like some of them. I really just love House of Gucci. I think it's just an over-the-top dramedy that people just, I think after time people will come to understand. It's when you start to notice, and when you look at all of his films, you're like, he plays fast and loose with history and being accurate, and people are getting mad at him for Napoleon at the moment, and he's making a movie. He's not making a documentary. Like I think we forget that. And House of Gucci is a prime example. Like, did people really want to take this seriously?
Yeah.
Literally, a wife had got people to murder her husband, her ex-husband, because he had what she wanted, and like also she like. It's like this power-hungry struggle of like a woman who's like sees a guy and he's like, my name's Gucci, and he's immediately like, I've got this in the bag, and she basically just owns this entire family. And then when he's like, no, I I'm a Gucci, like you're not a Gucci kind of thing. She like owns it. I don't know, it's just a whole drama of it, and it's over. Like he picked Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Al Pacino, and Jared Leto, and you think they're gonna give subtle performances? Like we're talking about the most over the top people imaginable.
He hasn't met subtle.
Just completely going at it, doing these accents that are over the top, and it's like a telenovela. Like it's over the top.
Yeah,
we're just trying to make you laugh, trying to make you go, wow, I cannot believe.
So many great lines though.
Oh yeah. The father, the son, the house of Gucci. Like
he was just cooking in that. Like rewatching that, and then you just go, how was that not popular?
Yeah.
Sometimes you watch his movies, you go, oh, this wasn't popular.
So obviously that came. So was that COVID interrupted? Because he like had a break of like 4 years, like because it was like 2017.
Well, I think last Duel was COVID interrupted,
Okay,
so they pushed that back, and then he made House of Gucci. He made House of Gucci during COVID, so that's why the budget was a little bit more. But yeah, good pick, Ken. Loved Al Pacino in this.
everyone in this.
You know, we aren't even naming them every show after Al Pacino, so yeah, like he's amazing. Clickbait, he's just the best. Jared Leto, Susie, oh my, the wardrobe, just
everything about this, it's decadent.
The music.
The music is just great.
You love Faith.
It's the oddest choice in the movie when they're playing Faith during the wedding. Well, by the way, no spoilers. There's no spoilers because it all happened and this is real, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, in the movie, when they get married, it's like Faith. It's just the weirdest choice of a song. And then because he implements a lot of different songs in it, and then he plays like a different version of it, and it's just like, oh wow, this is perfect seems. Well, the Ed Sheeran song at the end is also very weird.
Yeah.
But you know what? Whatever. It's great.
Love it.
It's entertaining.
So that's number one pick. I am the next pick, and I'm going to choose Martian in drama.
Yeah, true. Huge.
So we're talking about...
You rated this as his only banger, which I was quite surprised by. Did you?
No, that's not true, Danny. So yeah, calm down. No, Martian is...
I thought we were doing one category each.
No. It's whoever category you want, mate.
Okay.
So just calm down. I do the rules. It's my game.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot. No.
No, you pick
this is
the strategy of this. So you pick whatever category you want. So if all the
it didn't matter to me. I've got House of Gucci. I don't care anymore.
My god! Seriously, this is what we do.
I can go now. I'm done.
So
I'm done here, yeah.
Let's talk about The Martian. It was highly successful. It stars Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Jess Daniels, Kristen Wiig. Amazing cast. He gets Matt Damon's character gets stuck on Mars, and he has to work out a way to get home or live on Mars before someone can get him. What a movie! Multiple Oscar nominees. It got beaten by The Revenant, which is a travesty. No one's ever watched that movie again. Twice. They saw it once, and that's it. Like, even Leonardo DiCaprio, like, he's had way better performances than that. Yeah. All he did was open a bear and stick his head in there, and that counts as good acting? Like, come on, son. Like, Matt Damon, that performance was brilliant. And the fact that Ridley Scott put all those elements together, of that year of all movies, that is the one in 50 years' time you're going to say, well, wow, how did that not win? You know, there's just sometimes that happens. So for me, Martian in the drama category.
Who did it better, Tom Hanks in Castaway or Matt Damon on The Martian?
Matt Damon.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I think so. But, like, I think
the reason... as well.
Yeah, different personalities. But the reason why is, like, he had a little bit more to work off because he was still talking to people. So, Tom Hanks, the degree of difficulty in Castaway, he was only talking to a volleyball.
Yeah.
Matt Damon was talking to people across the universe.
Yeah.
Across space.
Yeah.
And it was really clever how they did it. Like, he was communicating through...
doing video recordings.
Yeah, video recordings or video picture, you know, and he had like a wheel. Yeah, and then the music, like, he only had disco music, so he was really bopping to it. It was quite good. That is my choice. Danny, your choice.
Okay, so I'm going to go thriller because I haven't watched many of his thriller films, and it's still on the tail. So Alien.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just I guess an iconic sci-fi film.
Yeah.
Started the franchise.
Rewatching it was quite good. It was a surprising like you just think that Sigourney Weaver is that franchise, but like the first movie is actually it's like an ensemble cast and they're all kind of interacting, and she is on the screen more at the end, obviously, because she's the only one alive.
She's the most sane person in that movie.
Well, she wasn't a big name at that stage, you know. So since then, you know, the Ridley character is iconic, and she was been in, you know, a few of the films.
Yeah.
But Ridley Scott's directed 3. He was supposed to direct another movie that didn't ever happen. He was also supposed to direct Alien 3, but his good friend David Fincher took over, and that was a historic blowout between him and the studio.
Yeah.
A highly successful franchise, Alien. We'll be talking that throughout the day because
it's still good. It still holds up. Like
still holds up.
That first movie.
Yeah, for the coders in it. Also, John Hurt, Elephant Man himself.
Yeah.
Just
And obviously one of the most iconic scenes in a movie, like where the alien comes out of the alien. You know.
Stanley Kubrick rang Ridley Scott and asked him how he did that.
Yeah.
Like that's how good that scene was, and it's just the cat.
Like the cat. Yeah, it's like and the worst decision, like she's like, when they bring in the guy and she's like, no, you can't come on board because like he could have an alien.
Like,
and then they're like, no,
obviously.
bring him in. Yeah.
Well, like, let's talk about these alien movies, right? So, you go on this ship, and you're traveling 7 years or whatever to these different planets, and you're in cryo chambers, and you decide you go with a girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like every one of these movies is like a relationship, and you know that's the reason why the alien's going to get them.
Yeah.
Like because they make silly decisions time and time again. Like break up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like because if you go on that ship, you're not going to break up. You're going to die. So spoil it. I think this movie is like Ridley Scott's like horror movie. It's like a chainsaw massacre sort of thing. It's like. You know, like when he made this movie, he wasn't the writer's first choice. Yeah. But then he saw The Duellists, and the writer went, "Oh, well, let's go with this guy." You know,
it's so interesting. It's a very different film.
Originally, the movie was really hard to make, but then Star Wars came out, and it was also produced by 20th Century Fox, and they got a really big kick from Star Wars, so they went, "Okay, let's make every sci-fi that we got on the books." And was in the books, and that's why.
Yeah.
James Cameron directed the sequel, so
Which,
a lot of people say that's better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like Alien.
Yeah.
I liked it. You get another pick then.
Yeah, huge. I guess. Because it's another tough sci-fi.
So
I'll go Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Hannah's blowing up.
Wait.
I was like, it's not.
No, I'm so done. No, I'm gonna have to pick one of the stupid ones. All right, continue. Go, Daddy. You get Blade Runner. Go for it.
Yeah, which version are you going?
So
for?
whatever the one on Netflix is at the moment.
The final cut.
So everyone I think thinks that this is a Harrison Ford film, but it is actually the other guy, Roy. Roy, I think he's the standout actor in this film. He is so good in it.
Well, Harrison Ford's just doing Harrison Ford things.
Yeah.
Man.
So there's been a few different cuts. There's he fell out with Warner Brothers over this.
Yeah.
Then they wanted him to do a director's cut. He did a director's cut. Then they wanted him to do a Blu-ray because this movie was like a cult classic. And then he did one, and then it was his final sort of cut. So that's one that's released on Netflix at the moment. Yeah. So you've got Harrison Ford doing Harrison Ford things, visually absolutely stunning, based on a book.
Yeah.
He wanted to make Dune.
Yeah.
And then he went back and made Blade Runner because Dune was taking too much time, and then David Lynch made Dune, and we know how that turned out. Everyone hated that movie. But they're remaking him now, so I'm really looking forward to Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2, which no one knew that we needed. Original ending had voiceovers, and it was sort of a happy version. That's what the studio wanted, and now we don't have that. So
it's I like the ending how it is. Everything about the movie, how it's influenced, also just
very
sci-fi.
influential.
I love Cyberpunk 2077, which is based off a game, a separate game. But it's so influenced by that movie. And even you can go to a rooftop and you can find Roy with pigeons in the rain. And you can just like little Easter eggs like that. It's just so influential and just, I don't know.
I really like it. I really like how like you invite someone into your show, and then he just takes chalk picks. So he just takes Alien, Blade Runner straight.
Yeah,
off.
you're like, oh, it's just.
So when I was saying he's overrated, these are his like probably 2 of his
Oh,
best 3 movies. Get them out of the way, like you know.
Mate.
So this guy. Oh god. So everyone's just gonna vote for him. So we're gonna whatever movie you choose.
You know what? I don't care. I'll stand on my anthill. Gucci. That's it. That's all I care about.
Is that what you care about?
Well, I had a sci-fi and they were both taken. All
we
3 are
should-
taken.
We should have just done your thing and just done the same category. How boring!
I know, because I would have won.
Let's go my pick.
Yeah, what's your pick?
My pick, I'm going to go in the action category.
Oh, okay.
Gladiator.
Yes.
Ah.
His most famous film, probably.
His most well-liked, I guess.
No, I reckon it's Blade Runner or Alien.
I think why this one is people like this more than his other history ones is because it's not about that.
fictional.
Yeah, it's fictional with loose characters.
Yeah. That's,
Whereas I think that's the
I
one
get
important
it.
things.
Yeah.
Like Russell Crowe, like he got won best actor for it. He doesn't even do an accent in this movie. He just talks like he's an Australian.
Yeah.
You know,
Pulls it
Well,
off.
Is he Australian? Is he a New Zealander? Denny? Is he?
I think he decides depending.
Yeah, depending on the day.
Yeah.
It's like.
That scene when I rewatching this, and when I think he did it he was talking about on the Howard Stern show, and he was saying how Ridley Scott gave me things. Is I need you to look into the sky, look at the bird, and then look to the battlefield.
Yeah.
And then he adds sort of things, and then you see that scene and it plays word for word what Russell Crowe says, and he just looks, and then he sees the bird and he smiles, and then he looks at the battlefield and he gets stern face, and then he just cooks Russell Crowe. He just goes from like you could definitely tell that him and Ridley Scott were just making that script up on the way they go, because like the dialogue is just Joaquin Phoenix is throwing heat into
Yeah,
that
he
movie.
is, yeah,
How
yeah.
did he not win Best Supporting Actor?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
seriously,
That's-
he's just like playing out. So Russell Crowe plays a general. For those who haven't seen it, you're living on a rock. If you watch this podcast,
have you seen it?
if you're watching this, you're watching the wrong show. We're
Yeah.
talking about it. So he is a famous general. He under Caesar. Caesar dies. He gets taken over by Joaquin Phoenix's character. He decides that he's going back to his farm, and Russell Crowe gets taken down by Joaquin Phoenix, and then they also take out his family. But Russell Crowe miraculously survives, becomes a slave, then becomes a gladiator, then goes back to Rome, and therefore the movie. What a movie it is! Highly successful. It's one of the most successful movies, and it's banger, bordering on an all-time classic. So yeah. That is my pick. Hannah, your
Yeah,
pick.
cool. I'm gonna go with drama, I believe, because I don't want to. I'll stay away from sci-fi for a bit. Drama. I'm gonna go Velma and Louise.
Oh, such a good
Oh
movie.
wow.
Such a
I
good movie.
absolutely like my only going into Thelma Louise. I've only seen the Simpsons episode where Marge and the neighbor basically Thelma Louise it.
That's how you've seen all Ridley Scott movies.
That's
like you just got
most
like
likely.
you just go.
Alien,
you just go-
I know from the Simpsons.
We watched
Simpsons.
Exodus. This was covered in The Simpsons.
Well, yeah, it was like source material. But honestly, I love the performances in this movie. Like Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis are just great. They have these.
Sarandon's an icon.
I
An
love.
absolute icon.
Absolutely love her in
yeah.
this movie. I love her in most movies. So
Brad Pitt is his first movie, isn't it?
I don't. Yeah. It's like his first big role.
Yeah.
I don't really.
So two best friends set out on an adventure, but it turns out terrifying. They have escaped from the police. they committed some crimes. They were hanging,
That was-
you know, they were,
One big one.
yeah, it's the Bonnie and Clyde of two females. Like Scott wasn't supposed to direct this; he was just producing it. But Sarandon said, "Like, come on, you just direct this." And you know what? He has to cook. You know, Ridley Scott has to cook.
Yeah.
He just has to. Like, and he does.
Honestly, it's
I love the way that
It's on Disney Plus,
the
it's on
two,
too.
like Thelma and Louise, the way that their characters develop throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, like is it Louise, Gina Davis? Is that Thelma?
Thelma.
Yeah, how like she's like such a naive kind of like
Yeah.
person.
Yeah,
at the
and then
beginning.
eventually she's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
Spoiler alert,
charismatic.
she not at the end.
Yeah.
I just love it's like just a great, just, you never see a lot of like really strong female characters really presented that way. I don't know, just like
Are
the...
you saying that the film industry has a problem with delivering
Yeah,
female characters?
honestly, can I just say, give pointers, like Ridley Scott, I mean, Sigourney Weaver in that first Alien movie, she's like
Yeah.
the smartest person in that room,
Yeah.
without having to be like, I'm a woman, I'm smart. No, she's just like, don't let the alien thing in.
Yeah.
And then this movie, you just have two women who are like, yeah, you know, even if we told them, they're just gonna not believe us. So you know what? We're just gonna go on the run. And they managed to outfool like I think, is it the FBI that are trying to get them? Like they're outpacing a literal
FBI,
the
yeah, sheriff,
intelligence.
Yeah.
And many a time, and they're like, you know what?
Well, you know the FBI couldn't solve the JFK assassination,
Yes.
so like, you know.
They're pretty sucky at their job. I don't know. It's just
But like Hans Gruber said it best. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the FBI. Hannah, your pick again.
I will go sci-fi just so I can take this movie, because I won't take the other one. I'll take Prometheus. Because
Alright.
I think out of the two other alien movies he does, that's probably, has an amazing scene where they're trying to almost recapture the moment where the alien comes out of the body in the first movie.
So this
Where
is a prequel.
in this one, it's a prequel where you're trying to, because Ridley's trying to flesh out the backstory of like the crew that came before, that came before the original alien crew.
Damien Lindelof wrote this like fame of Lost.
Yeah, and in this one, you have this really amazing scene where there is an alien in a body, and she has to perform like an emergency C-section kind of thing, and it is incredible. It's like what I was like it just went from 0 to 100 real quick. I know like where all the stuff is going wrong, but seeing that moment, you're like, wow, what is happening here? And it's actually just great. I don't know. There's something that was a great scene. I think.
But what about the start where like the guy creates humanity? Like some
Yeah, I mean,
guy.
like some of the I'm trying to like explain all the weird alien plot about how humanity. Yeah,
Great
humanity.
cast, like Guy Pearce is in this, Charlize Theron,
Idris Elba's in this.
Idris Elba,
With a
Benedict
bow.
Wong, like
Yeah.
and built. He's jacked in this movie. He's jacked.
Everyone's looking great in this movie.
Fassbender, Noam Rapace, from Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. Oh my god.
Everyone is actually looking great in this movie.
Yeah.
They're all just taking it serious.
I love it.
We're serious. It's actually, it looks great.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh.
It is
He
intense.
does VFX really well.
It
Ridley.
is intense and it's really well done. I
Yeah.
just, out of,
Yeah.
Alien or this one, I'm not taking the other one. But yeah, as sci-fi, I'm going to go with Prometheus. That's what I'm doing.
That is.
Excellent decision.
That's a great decision, Hannah.
Because my 3 sci-fis were all taken in moments. You know what? But I took Gucci, so that's all I got. So we had to make sacrifices here, people. So.
You wanted Gucci. Go
Yeah,
on.
I made the sacrifice.
My pick. I'm going
I could have
to.
been me and I could have just taken a different movie.
What did you say?
I could have taken a
What did you say?
random card.
Okay, Hannah.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Thrown it.
What? In the sci-fi category, I'm going to take Alien Covenant.
There you go.
So that is the sequel to Prometheus. It is. There's a couple of things in this movie. Michael Fassbender is just the best.
He's
Like anyone that hasn't seen The Killer, I highly recommend it.
He's basically doing that, and it's
It basically, yeah. He plays an AI
Android.
android.
Like, thing.
Yeah. And in the first one, he plays the same guy, but it's a different model in this one.
Yeah, and so to differentiate, one
Yeah,
of them's
because-
British
Because
and one of them's
no,
American.
because the first version was perfect and it was off-putting to people because it was created by Guy Pearce's character in the first one.
Yeah.
So then they made another version and they made it. He's slightly a little bit dumber, you know, so he's slightly more human. And so people are like, oh yeah, I can take that. But like Fassbender is just throwing heaters in this movie. Catherine Waterston, I just love her. I loved her in that movie Steven Soderbergh did with Daniel Craig. She was in that. It was so good.
Yeah.
Lucky,
yeah.
yeah, so good. I love that. Yeah, Alien Covenant, like, nope. Like everyone goes, oh yeah, Prometheus was a better sort of one, and you know, I'm probably getting the runt of the litter when it comes to sci-fi, but like, I liked it.
I think all of it. I could argue all of its sci-fis are still pretty good.
Like the elevator pitch of this movie is like a crew is going to a new colony, and then they hear I think it's Take Me Home, Country Road. I think they hear a song,
like some sort
and
of
then they
SOS.
a SOS signal, and it's from the guys from the original Prometheus, and then they go to this planet, and then it all hell breaks loose. So that is for those who haven't seen it, like he's so good at making these movies. Like, and there was supposed to be one with I think it was Romulus, Alien Romulus. He was supposed to make. But it got affected by COVID, but hopefully it goes back to it because he's so really good at this movie. Denny, your choice.
Okay, so
You've got
Yeah.
Wild Card.
So I'll give you an update. So your ones you got left. You haven't picked romance, comedy, Oscar nominee. You haven't picked action. You haven't picked drama, and you haven't picked wildcard.
cool. Look, I'll take Black Hawk Down in romance comedy Oscar nom.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Oh, shit. Gotcha.
Only because there's not very many movies left in that. For
And
me
you're
in that
like,
section.
I want a really good one. Like,
I mean, the movie's fine. Like, it's got a great. It's got
the
a great.
movie's fine.
It's got an
We're
absolutely.
talking about one of the like
Iconic.
deepest
It's got a great cast in it. It's got a
Yeah,
great
it's
cast.
got an
It's
amazing
got an
cast
amazing cast in it.
of British white men playing Americans.
Yeah, what's up? Like Eric Bana, who's
Yeah.
really good in this movie, and he's played an American, and like what the like, Ewan McGregor, Orlando Bloom,
Yeah.
like just who's who, like Jason Isaacs, who was the baddie in The Patriot, which
Yeah.
is one of the all-time iconic baddies. Oh, like how does he like? Why is he picking these guys for starters? And you can tell
All
that.
these guys have good moments in their
It's a
careers.
Bruckheimer film because it looks
Yeah.
like a Michael Bay
Yeah,
film.
it does. Yeah, that was exactly like
It
Michael
looks
Bay.
like-
Yeah.
Highly successful
It's-
this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of the most realistic depictions of war in a movie. I would say it's a very intense movie as well because you're kind of like.
Ridley,
ooh,
like,
is
what's
this gonna end up well?
Like, what's he doing? He's
This is the section where he's
This-
like, what is he up to?
the story here is he made this and Hannibal in the same year. Like he's just
What? That doesn't even make sense.
Ridley's just cooking. He's just absolutely cooking. So it's the story of 160 elite US soldiers who were dropped in Mogadishu in Somalia.
Yeah.
They got. They're trying to capture some terrorists that are hanging out in Somalia.
Mm.
It goes wrong. Sam Shepard's the major general. Then Black Hawk Down, as the title suggests, gets shot down, and then they have to get all these people to go in and save them. It really is so intense. It is so much like a Michael Bay film. It is, wow.
But
It
it's
is,
with drama and
yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah, and like heroic
Sense.
things, you know. Jeremy Piven's in this movie. Like, it's just, wow. You just go, all that guy's in that movie. It's just, great pick, Danny. Great pick.
Yeah, actually,
So,
You
your
get
pick
another
next.
one.
You get another one.
Okay, in action, I'm going to take G.I. Jane.
Wow.
You
It's so good and so hilarious.
No, what is wrong with you? You had G.I. Jane on the board and you picked. What
Because I didn't want to be left with Covenant because I didn't like it.
See? That's why we do it this way.
It might be the campus movie, one of the campus movies
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Just like all the instructors, all they do is they have these little short shorts on, moustaches, oiled up bodies.
Oh man, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
A great, obviously a great peak Demi Moore, like she's out at the height of her powers, and also Viggo Mortensen is amazing in this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as Master Chief.
Yeah.
Like, so this movie wasn't successful because there was a big controversy around this because she got paid so much. Well, she deserved it. She was the main
she's
star,
great. Yeah.
and she was really cooking at that stage. Like, this is the star of A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
This is the star of The Ghost.
Yeah.
Like, she was really cooking. She got paid over a couple of movies. The other movie was god awful, Striptease, but I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds is cooking in that movie.
Yeah.
He's like literally on high temperature. I love it. But yeah, she got paid so much, and then so there was a lot of outcry for that.
Yeah.
But like, it's about a senator played by Anne Bancroft who's trying to get gender equality across the military, and there was like some really horrific stories, and it's still to this day there's horrific stories about how females get treated in the military.
Yeah.
And so she thought anyone could do the job, so they picked one test subject and they go, okay, let's get him in SEALs, so they make it really hard.
Yeah.
So she picks Demi Moore's character, who's like an ex-athlete who's in naval
I don't know if you remember
intelligence.
the scene where they're picking the women. And it's so funny because it's like a movie about like women empowerment, and they're just picking out all
women
these
picking
like
up,
women
just
who are too strong. They're like,
Yeah.
is she?
Oh,
really
she could be
strong?
too. She could be with another woman,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah, I can't have that.
And then they basically select Demi Moore because she's the prettiest.
Yeah, basically, that is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
She's like perfect, pretty, athletic, and has a man. So she's like, that's a force. No, I love it. Is absurd. I don't think he's trying to like even say anything about culture or anything. I think he just wanted like it's just a powerful woman who's just like I can be like the boys. Like it's that kind of movie, and I don't know. I'm all there for it.
Do you
Very
think?
enjoyable.
Do you think this
Go to
movie?
the top.
Do you think this movie is Ridley Scott's answer to his brother's Crimson Tide? Like he uses exactly the same music.
Yeah.
He like I think he's like Tony is his younger brother, but he was just throwing down the gauntlet all the time to his brother and said, "Okay, I'll do this movie," and then I've got to beat him because
Yeah.
one-upsmanship.
Yeah.
Tony Scott just cooking. If anyone hasn't seen Crimson Tide,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
watching the wrong channel. This is
Yeah.
a Crimson Tide zone.
It's a very good movie.
Rocky IV training montage in this movie.
Oh, it's so good. Love
Yeah,
a good training montage.
Yeah.
You just need it, right?
She's like in the shower,
Yeah.
just doing pull-ups. Like,
Yeah.
come on, Demi.
And like it's like, and they do it in heaps of movies, but like how they eventually come to love that person and get them as accepted
Yeah,
in the team.
yeah.
You know that old trope.
Famous scene of like her actually cutting her hair. Like
Yeah,
she had,
yeah.
there was no wig here.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she had beautiful, luxurious hair, and she shaved it off.
I
Like
can
in
only
one
think
scene.
of two other people. That's probably Natalie Portman in
In-
Viva May Vendetta
Yeah.
and Anne Hathaway in Les Mis.
Two women.
Yeah.
Like you don't care about guys losing a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry. It grows back. But when you
It grows back for women too.
yeah, that's short then. You like have to wear for ages if you get past Bob stage, man.
Yeah, but Anne Hathaway, we got her hair shaved, and then we got her
Yeah,
little
but
short
also,
little bob in
when
the
a guy
sky.
shaves his head, it's just guy shaves his head. When a woman shaves her head,
Just-
in theory, it's like shedding her femininity.
Yeah, and
that's
she's doing
that's the whole essence and idea
And
about
she's
it.
doing it to win an Oscar as well. So
Yeah,
let's
well,
shave your
thank
head.
you.
Let's shave your head
No,
for the
thank
pod.
you.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
There's lots of blocks.
I'm good.
But it's a statement for femininity, you know?
No, it's like to show. No.
Well, that movie is definitely a golf club. I highly
it's
enjoyed it.
enjoyable.
A very good rewatchable.
Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
Lisa when she tries to goes to a military camp and Lisa wants to go too.
It always goes back to Simpsons for you, hey?
Yeah, that's how I
Yeah,
like
fair
those
enough.
things.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Danny, you want to just like read my document with
Yeah,
my
no,
notes?
You know what? I'm really depressed. A lot of mine have been picked for different categories, and now I'm like, I have to process when I'm gonna move.
Oh, it's so hard.
It is, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm
It's a bit harder with a director than an actor because actors just have heaps of movies. But
Yeah, and you could, yeah.
So I have left. I've got Thriller. I've got Oscar nominee, and I've got Wildcard. I am gonna go in thriller.
Yeah. Where are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go.
Do you want to listen to this?
No. I know who I'm gonna go. I know I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go. And I'm really upset because I need it for something else. I know it. So take something else because I need it for something else.
Don't do it. Yeah.
I'm left.
Let's all set up the rest of these podcasts for time to
Well, I
come.
have
It's
to
all
think
about
to my
think about
picks.
yourself. Think about
And
yourself.
I need
Do what
it.
is best for you.
Yeah, do what's best for you. Find out.
You know what I'm gonna go?
I know what you're going with.
No.
I know exactly what you're going with.
No, I'm gonna go it. I'm gonna
Just
do
do
it.
it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go in thriller. I'm gonna go Black Rain.
Of course. Yes.
And you know why I'm doing this?
Wow.
Because this is it wasn't directed by Ridley Scott. This is directed by Tony Scott. This is a Tony Scott film.
The
This is-
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, this is 80s movie.
Michael
that-
Douglas.
Michael Douglas plays a cop. He's sort of a little bit dodgy. He's in a cafe. Yakuza tries to take Mafia down. He stops one of the guys, and then he takes him back to Japan, and he's trying to extradite him to Japan, and then he gives it to a guy, and it's the wrong guy, and then he has to chase the guy down. And then him and Andy Garcia are partners. Oh yes, please. There's like who's who of Japanese actors as well. There's a fight scene between a guy standing in the middle of the street, and then all these motorcycles with samurai swords. Oh, so good. And then at the end of this movie, not to be a spoiler, but they're like, has anyone seen Last Samurai? It's Last Samurai meets The Godfather. Oh man, he's just cooking in this movie. Hannah, I know you wanted to pick Black Rain.
No, I needed it because now I've got to figure out something.
I
needed it. I also was going to pick it.
Yeah, but tell the viewers what your thoughts on Black Rain are.
Oh, I like this. It's so over the top trash. I love this movie. I don't know what it is. It's something. It is very set in its ways. It's been a moment of its time. I don't know. It's just classic thriller trash. I'd also give it.
Great 80s soundtrack, and it's a really good time to talk about Hans Zimmer because he worked a lot with Hans,
Yeah.
and Hans has worked with Nolan as well. Hans. Yeah, he's really cooking with this 80s soundtrack. It's definitely like he's watched a lot of 80s movies at the time and went, yeah, I could do that.
I also say, did Michael Douglas just want to be on a motorcycle for a little
Oh,
bit?
I think he was riding, yeah.
He wanted to seem like a cool dude.
The poster, which I'll pop on the video for later, is just Michael Douglas with the glasses, with the leather coat, with his cop badge, standing next to a motorcycle. It's just iconic. Iconic Black Rain. That is my choice. Yeah, great thriller trash. Hannah, yours.
My next pick, let's see here.
You got two here, Hannah.
I've got my wild card and my...
So you've got action, thriller, and wild card.
Oh, yeah, cool. Cool. Thriller, I'm gonna have to go with... All the Money in the World.
Oh, great choice, Hen. You speak about it.
I actually was like, the only thing I heard about this movie was the controversy of Kevin Spacey was supposed to be the main character, and then the character in it, and then they switched out with Plumber.
Yeah, and you got Oscar nominated for this. How did he do it? How did Ridley Scott turn that movie around so quickly? He had to reshoot the whole thing.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, watching it, it's better with... I think it's a different movie if you put Kevin Spacey in it, because it's actually... What it is, it works well with Christopher Plummer, because you can totally get the whole, like, he's an old man with a bunch of money that doesn't want to give it to anyone. You could totally buy that from Christopher Plummer.
So it's a famous true story. It's about the Getty family, which is one of the richest families in the world, probably one of the richest families ever. Of their oil share market. 16-year-old John Paul Getty, he got kidnapped, and then lawyer / fixer for Getty, who used to work in the Middle East to try and solve all these things. He's in charge of getting the grandson back.
Yeah.
And Plummer plays a real jerk in it.
Oh no, I love that. No, you gotta have the jerk because it's like, you gotta believe like, man, he just wants. And I love, Michelle Williams, she's great in this. She has a little bit of an accent. She's doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
I love it. She loves. She has been like being this like motherly type, especially recent at the moment. So I don't know, I love her performance in it.
Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark, I forgot he was in this movie, and I was like, oh yeah, he's in here too.
Oh yeah.
He's not too like Marky Mark. He's actually just doing a good job here actually,
Yeah.
And just she expresses the fact that when she divorced her husband, she's like, you can keep all your money because like that's what Christopher Plummer wants. You can keep all your money. I just want the kids.
Yeah.
But when realizing in this moment when the kid's kidnapped and all they need is money, he's like almost in the thing of like, yeah, I want it all at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't. You'll have the kids. I want the kids and my money. And like I'm not. We're not playing ball here. And it's this weird like family dynamic, but also it's a thriller because you're just on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
You don't know what's
That's good
gonna
thriller
happen.
trash.
It's definitely like a little bit of a twist here, and you just don't know what's gonna happen.
Do you want to do the voice?
Which voice?
The voice.
Thriller trash. I don't know. That.
Great voice. Great voice.
I don't know. It's just a solid thriller. I'm not mad about it. Love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's no Tenet, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hannah, you got one more choice.
Action?
Action, you're all wild card.
Action. Is this action? Technically, isn't it an action? You know what? I'm gonna just go with
I love how she's like looking for high because all the
yeah, I know, because I'm a visual learner. I don't know. Wait, doesn't the last duel count as an action?
Yep.
Can I take that one?
Go for it.
No, I'll take Robin Hood.
No, you can take Last Duel.
No.
Last Duel's an action.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Because I've been cheated out of this one. I'll take
Oh my
Last
god! You've been cheated.
Yeah, well,
You got House of Gucci?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. Anyway, so I'll take the last duel of action because this has got one of the best action scenes I've ever seen, which is the amazing fight scene at the end
That's so good.
where Matt Damon
The duel.
and
Yeah.
Matt Damon and Adam Driver throw hands and a completely intense, brutal, over the top, great. I just love
Set in
it.
1300s France.
Yes, based
Yep.
off a story about how a woman who says she was sexually assaulted. She's like, she says it, and her husband believes her and will fight for her honor against.
Yeah, but I think he was
But
just doing
as
fighting for
we're
his
watching,
honor, not
yeah,
hers.
it's for him, and that's what the
The
story
story's
goes
about,
on.
yeah.
The story goes on, and you realize like he believes it's for her honor.
Yeah.
But they
When you
they-
see his story, and then
It's
what's
told in three
Three different
different
parts.
yes,
yeah.
you see his story, you see Adam Driver's perspective where he's like,
Yeah.
I'm a hero.
And then you see Jodie Comer.
And then
playing
Jodie
Marguerite.
Comer, who's considered her perspective is the truth of the story.
Yeah.
And she just knows that her husband's just fighting for his title, his name, and his honor because he doesn't like Adam. He's not a huge fan of Adam Driver's character.
Yeah.
Like he's always kind of like bringing back the Duellists, his
Yeah.
first movie, where it's like two guys just have beef for just no
good
apparent
call.
reason.
Yeah.
And this movie just is it's an incredible like.
Written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and also
Okay.
Nicole Hofstadter. She wrote. She said. That movie we saw earlier.
Yes.
Also, you hurt my feelings.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that's the first time that those two worked together since Good Will Hunting when they won the Oscar for,
Yeah.
and they've worked since with Air, which is
Yeah.
Why don't you think it was very successful?
just the time it came out.
I think time came
Matt
out.
Damon's
No,
haircut? People were just
yeah,
thinking.
people gave it to it.
What's wrong with the
But
mullet?
The
I
bowl cut mullet. Like,
I
that's-
was-
Scars like
I
that.
think the time it came out, what the subject matter was about, because this is also like
About Me Too,
height,
yeah.
height of Me Too.
Yeah.
Like there were people just boycotting anything that had to
Anything
do
to do
about
with
it. I also just like people just don't have they probably have only heard bad things about it because the only people that saw it were critics. So if a critic didn't like it, they probably only heard it. They didn't hear it from the mouth of people who were just like, it's actually a really impressive film.
Well, for those who haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus in Australia, probably Hulu in the States, but yeah, it's highly enjoyable. And
It's
yeah, tough subject matter.
I love like when you like the Matt Damon and is it what's the girl's name? Comer.
Jodie Comer.
Jodie Comer, like the way that he thinks that he loves her, and the versus the way that she. Like, you know, he's just like the coldest, like biggest jerk ever.
Yeah.
But he thinks he's like the most
he's
romantic.
I just love that when you finally see her perspective and you're like, oh my god, actually, yeah, he's just
The wedding night when they first have sex.
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
It's just like
just a completely turn, and even like in Adam Driver's perspective, like him thinking he's the hero in everyone's story.
Yeah.
Just his besties with Ben Affleck's character too, and Ben Affleck's is rizzing him up. You're like, dude, yeah, no, she totally likes you.
Yeah.
Go for it, man. Like he saw this woman once, and then was like, I kind of want to hit that, and then it was basically that.
Yeah.
And then Ben Affleck was like, sure, of course, you can do whatever you want. I like you. Like it was just. It's funny when you break it down, but it's just really enjoyable, you know.
Thanks, Ann.
Sorry.
My choice. You don't get any more. That's
No,
it.
I know. I was like, that was my action.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
I'd like to be in my wild card.
Right there, mate. For me, I've got romance, comedy, and Oscar nominee left, and wildcard, and I'm going to go American Gangster, which is Oscar nominated, starring Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington. They were in this movie called Virtuosity.
Oh.
And they were great in that, but they were so good in this movie. And you just wanted them together. There's a scene at the end where they Russell Crowe sort of like cutting a deal with Denzel Washington, who plays famed drug kingpin Frank Lucas.
Mm.
And they were just cooking those two, just so good. Like Russell Crowe gets to sleep with Carla Guggione, which is just an it girl for most guys my age.
Yeah.
Also, Katie Strickland from Private Practice. Just a sex scene in this movie is just Russell Crowe, just a lucky guy, and Ridley Scott. He knows how to film a sex scene. The who's who of white guy actors in this as well. Also, Idris Elba. Oh, great death scene in this. Spoiler for Idris Elba. Josh Brolin playing a bad guy. Just a great movie, and really like just how the Vietnam War is spliced in with Harlem, is spliced in with the drug war. It's really well done. It's a mixture between Apocalypse Now, The Godfather, probably like a Spike Lee movie. It's just all mixed in a big melting pot, and you get American Gangster.
Yeah.
Denny, your choice.
Did you get to? Oh, you just get one.
Yeah, let's get
I
one.
got two. They're my final two, right?
Yeah.
Wildcard and action.
Yeah.
Wild card. Ooh.
So with action.
No, you went G.I. Jane action.
Action.
Oh,
Yeah.
drama,
Drama.
and wildcard.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually good for you.
So okay,
There's
so
a
I'll
lot of
take
dramas.
what is it? Kingdom of Heaven.
Yes.
Okay,
So
cut
this
would you
movie
like?
is so ludicrous. It's hilarious.
Which cut would you like?
Whatever the one is on that's on Apple at the moment.
Yeah, director's cut, man.
Yeah. It's got some great actors in it. Ridley Scott is bizarrely in love with Eva Green's eyes. I don't know if like every scene it's like just her like with this, and all you do is see her eyes.
And
No, I'm saying in love with him. That's good.
Yeah, that's
a good thing.
kind of like
Yeah.
the Christopher Nolan and Cillian Murphy kind of situation. So it's
Orlando
like,
Bloom, like you're supposed to believe that he was a black.
Did you bring up Christopher Nolan and Cillian Murphy?
Yes.
Did you bring up Oppenheimer?
No, I brought up the eyes, but sure, you want to bring up Oppenheimer?
Did you want to bring up Oppenheimer? Did you want to bring up Oppenheimer?
Just drop the bomb. What do you want to bring up? Oh, okay, I know what you want to bring up.
What are you talking about?
You want to bring
It
up...
was Strauss!
You don't get to commit the sin, then have everyone feel sorry for you. No, we're talking about the Kingdom of Heaven, alright?
Yeah, director's cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like an outrageous Brendan Gleeson performance.
Yeah.
Like, he was just sending it the whole time. And there's this, what's his name? There's a great New Zealand that guy in it.
Edward Norton's in it as well.
Edward Norton.
Orlando Bloom plays the main character.
Okay.
It's about the Crusades.
Yeah.
And
Which I just love that he picks.
Martin's Soska. He's like he always plays a
Yeah.
Russian gangster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he always.
so This is Ridley Scott's biggest regret of his career because he didn't like the cut that he sent to theatrical.
Yeah.
It's like at this time there was like also Oliver Stone directed Alexander and he wasn't happy with that cut as well. So these directors at the time were really struggling.
Cuts.
Orlando Bloom gives the worst pre-battle speech you've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
pathetic.
yeah.
Like he was. I don't think he was. That was a horrible cast. I didn't believe him in that role.
True.
Orlando Bloom overrated.
Yeah, massively.
Well,
I mean, this was the height of Orlando Bloom,
Yeah.
though. This was
He was terrible in Black Hawk Down. I was waiting for him to die and I was thankful.
He's very pretty.
Well, okay. Thanks, Katy Perry.
No, well,
Yeah, Kingdom of Heaven. The 4-hour director's cut is lovely.
it's a great movie.
Kingdom of Heaven. Denny, you
That's
have one more
a-
pick.
that's
It's
a
wildcard.
great pick.
I think I'm going
Wild
to
card, you
choose
know
because
any movie.
this. I'm gonna go wild card. I'm gonna go Matchstick Men.
Oh!
I love this movie.
So
a great Nicolas Cage performance. Like he is just he's
Love
heating it, and then Sam Rockwell, who's one of my favorite actors.
Yes.
Great story. Like it's got a good little catch at the end.
bit of a twist.
Yeah.
Good acting.
Yeah.
The daughter and father-daughter relationship is so believable. Alison Lohman really good.
Yeah.
The way he
She-
portrays the descent of Nicolas Cage's mental health in this.
Yeah,
looks so
it's
good.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Just...
Nicolas
This is
Cage
another
really
like
good.
movie that's just bizarre that he kind of directed this. You know, it's not really doesn't fit
Yeah,
his
it
MO.
doesn't fit. No, but it's still really.
Yeah, like so he went from he goes Gladiator, Hannibal, Black Hawk Down, Max Schmidt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
He's
He's taking a break.
yeah. He's like let's just do, and then he just goes make Kingdom of Heaven next.
Yvonne.
Love it. Great choice. It's mine and my wild card. There's only one choice that can go here. One choice. Hannah was very polite not picking this.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
of course.
I
I mean, if something did happen.
what if I would have picked House of Gucci with this? It would have my life would have been ended.
No, well, you didn't know.
I'm gonna pick the 2006 romantic comedy A Good Year, said by no one ever. Russell Crowe and Marion Cotillard in this. Russell Crowe plays a British investment banker. His uncle, who owns a winery in France, he dies. And Russell Crowe gets left everything. And the uncle is played by Albert Finney. So just a huge cast here. Great music, set in French vineyard. I believe the Russell Crowe and Marion Cotillard relationship. Abby Cornish is in this before she wrecked her face with plastic surgery. Just a delightful movie. A lot of people don't believe Russell Crowe can play a romantic lead, but I'm there for it. I love Russell Crowe's and Ridley Scott's relationship. It's such a charming
It's
movie.
actually an adult romance rather than just being
Yeah,
childish.
he
a lot of romance movies.
He
are
exudes leading men vibes. I think. He exudes it. And also a great name for the female character in this, Fanny Chanel. Love it. Any person called Fanny is okay with me. Hannah, you get your last pick, and it is wild card.
My wild card. Oh, interesting. My wild card. I'm gonna go with. This is very hard, actually. I might go with The Duellists.
Oh, so Ridley Scott's first movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with The Duellists.
Speak on it,
I like duels.
You like duels?
Yeah,
So you've
apparently.
gone
The Last Duel and The Duel.
Very similar movies. No,
Set Napoleonic Wars, so he's
Yes.
gone back to that with Napoleon, so it's a great choice.
I think this is when he starts. This movie about the whole dueling. This is where he starts to also play with history, where he kind of just like makes sure like history is like a backdrop note to whatever he wants to put on the screen.
Yeah.
And he does that with almost every movie. Does not matter if it's supposed to be based on a true story. This one is just great. It's just the pettiness of it, where two guys. They had a dispute.
Harvey Keitel and David Carradine.
Who's Harvey Keitel, who's basically insane.
Is a maniac.
They have a simple dispute. They duel at once, and then for here on after, they just start dueling each other for just no apparent reason.
Harvey Keitel would have made a great Napoleon.
And
Napoleon.
and they will change up the duel each time. They go from swords and horseback riding and then have this amazing fight at the end where it's pistols, and so you think it's the obvious make your 10 paces shoot, but they change it up and it's this abandoned castle and they have to hunt each other down for sport and they have 2 bullets, and it's like, wow, I wouldn't expect that from a duel, but it's
the writer of the Highlander saw this movie and went, yep, I can make a movie.
I love the Highlander for all of its flaws.
Do you love the Highlander?
Wow. Big fan. There can only be one.
Big fan.
And also just the movie takes a weird turn for some reason when you...
What turn is that?
So it goes, they had like 2 separate different duels, and then, you know, the war starts to end, so the war ends, and he's like, and not having the other guy's character, unfortunately I can't remember his name right now, he, you know, he goes home a war hero, he's like beloved, and he just starts to have a romance, he has a family, it has this it becomes almost like a
David Carradine.
A Pride and Prejudice sort of story for some reason. It just slows down a bit, and then it's like, oh wait, the dueling has not ended. Harvey Keitel starts bad-mouthing him because he hears he's doing well, and he just bad-mouths him for no reason, even though he has no idea what the guy's doing. And every time they just come onto screen each other and they just give each other hate eyes, it's just so entertaining.
Absolutely amazing, and for a first feature, yeah, well worth a well watch. I haven't seen it. You can rent it on Apple TV. So that's it for the Ridley Scott draft.
One question.
Yeah.
If we had included Napoleon in this, would any of you have chosen it?
I would have chosen it for action.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I was thrown into the lurch with action. But also,
just it's called a draft.
Yeah, I know. It's called
a draft. Well, anyway, because you guys surprised me where you put certain movies. That's why it shocked me. No, Napoleon has impressive, some of his most impressive action work in it. So I would have put it in action. 100%.
Any movies that wasn't chosen that you were surprised, like
No.
Hannibal?
I've never talked about that.
I
completely don't know why there was a franchise based on
I know, right?
Silence of the Lambs, then we got Hannibal, and then Hannibal the TV show.
Okay, guys, I really enjoyed that movie. David Mamet.
That's about eating people. It's literally about eating people.
It has Gary Oldman in it, big...
Gary Oldman?
A chair with a...
Are you talking about Gary Oldman? Back and to the left?
No,
Are you talking about Gary Oldman?
Is that all the one where he eats his own brain? He's alive? Is that
it's Ray Liotta. Yeah, Ray Liotta. He does, yeah, he does.
Oh, right, yeah.
Body of Lies? Yeah, that's alright.
I was
Crow?
I was paying
Body
attention.
of Lies.
I was paying attention to Jason
love
Isaac.
Russell Crowe in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac is a
paying
Ridley Scott lover as well.
Paying attention to him for some of the others.
If you don't want to mention the fantasy drama starring Tom Cruise in that Monobrow.
Monobrow. The fact
Legend.
that they have Tim Curry, but they voice modulate so you can't even hear Tim Curry, and they put him in a massive devil suit, so you don't even see the guy. And there's several. This is also one movie with several different cuts because apparently an American audience would not understand the original cut, so they cut it and put music in it for some reason.
Robin Hood wasn't mentioned as well.
It's a bad movie.
It's not the
Nothing
worst.
happens for the first half of the movie. It's all about the...
I like the idea behind it, I just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone to Watch Over Me wasn't mentioned as well. That's a thriller. Was starring George
If he wasn't married, different movie.
White Squall.
That's actually a good movie.
It's a good movie.
I just don't.
Yeah, it just didn't fit. And Exodus, Gods and Kings.
That's a movie with just poor casting because it's actually not a bad movie. Just poor casting. In a sense that they were great cast characters.
Are you saying Battle Medicine shouldn't
be? No, they're all great cast characters. I'm just saying, you have a Welshman playing. It's a great cast of characters, but this cast are, again, we're playing fast and loose with.
And the fact that we haven't mentioned 1492.
Can we also mention The Counselor?
Oh!
Which is a movie that
definitely Tony Scott
is an incoherent plot, right? Which everything, all the elements would make a good movie, but an incoherent plot.
Yeah.
And you have Brad Pitt in it, and he looks like a young Colonel Sanders the entire time.
Oh.
Like, not even a joke. He like has a white suit and he's doing this little southern thing, and he's got his mustache goatee thing going on.
Yeah.
And then you have Cameron Diaz, who is
Yeah.
amazing. But
has sex with a car.
And she runs the cheetahs, and then has this cheetah tattoo that goes all the way down, and you don't know how far it goes.
Yeah. She has two cheetahs. She has two
cheetahs that she races.
Teaches.
She's on a horse. When you get introduced to her, she's on a horse and she's racing cheetahs. This is, and then Javier Bardem's just watching on the side, like, ha ha ha. I'm scared of this woman. Ha ha ha. I'm like, that's what he's doing there.
It's like your Javier Bardem.
Whatever he's doing, a little moment of, that's what I'm doing.
I love that. Danny, recap your movies.
Okay, so for romance comedy, Oscar nom, I had Black Hawk Down. That was basically for Oscar nom. Sci-fi, Blade Runner. Final Cut, action, G.I. Jane. Thriller, Alien. Drama, Kingdom of Heaven. And Wildcard, Matchstick Men.
And you go on director's cut for Kingdom of Heaven?
Yeah,
of course. Hannah.
Mine, for Oscar nominee romance comedy, House of Gucci. That's the best option here. Please watch this movie. You'll love it. Sci-fi, Prometheus. Action, Last Duel. Thriller, All the Money in the World. Drama, Thelma and Louise. And Wildcard, The Duels. Actually, that's not a bad pairing. I like those movies.
I'm going in Oscar nominee category: American Gangster, Sci-fi, Alien Covenant, Action, Gladiator, Thriller, Black Rain, Drama, The Martian, and Wildcard, A Good Year. Let us know what you think on our selections.
Yes.
And in a couple of days, we'll post. You can vote on Instagram story. Let us know who you think won.
Yep.
Me.
And then,
Definitely not Pete. Definitely not Pete.
Oh, like you took some like the classics of the Ridley Scott.
So I
was like, I haven't seen every one of them.
Find someone in your home. He's the Adam Driver of this show. For those who've seen The Last Duel, know what we're talking about. So let us know what you think. Are we really crazy for doing a Ridley Scott draft? You know, probably. The hot take of all hot takes. Hannah, are you watching Taylor Swift live?
Yes, and she's singing Safe and Sound, people.
Inviting someone on a show and saying, is Ridley Scott overrated on Ridley Scott?
Yeah, I know, right?
Biggest heat check with performance of all time.
Just let's bring down some pegs before we rise them back up.
What's next for us? We have got on Tuesday, our first podcast is dropping Ben-Hur rewatch AFI Top 100 Revisited. Then our usual show, What's Next? We're going to be talking about Napoleon for Ridley Scott Week. And then we'll have our movie news blockbuster, which is 2 at the moment. Hannah choked big time about prisons.
I don't know jail. I'm not.
And we'll also have the usual favourites of King and Newt's movie and dropping a review every day. Also, the Watchies coming up. First annual Watchies on the 28th of December. Our next movie draft is going to be Christmas movies. And let us know what categories. We're going to play with the categories. Probably have Best Santa. And, Hannah really made a big deal about House of Gucci. But I'm going to make a big deal right now about Lethal Weapon. If I do not choose Lethal Weapon, I'm going out. I'm just going to walk. I'm walking here. Thanks for joining us today, Denny.
Yes,
Thanks for having me.
It was an absolute pleasure for having someone sit next to you when they don't know anything about Ridley Scott.
Take all the classics.
They just come in and just steal the classics. Thanks, Adam Driver. Hannah, it was an absolute pleasure for you.
Yeah. I got House of Gucci. I'm good today.
Thanks, Hannah. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Until later in the week when we catch up for the podcast, Ben-Hur. That's Hannah. That's Denny. I'm Peter. Until we try to figure out what to watch next, it's bye for now.
Bye. All right. Oh, you turn this one off.